Hey y'all, Day with Tian, Michelle, bringing you along today on canning some asparagus. I have never pickled asparagus before. I have already got a video on canning asparagus, which I will put a link up to in the corner. But I caught, for the second week in a row, I caught asparagus on sale for under $1. Kroger had it this week for 99 cents a pound, so I bought about another 9.5 pounds. Last week I put up about 10 pounds that I bought from another store for 98 cents a pound. So this is a great hashtag Project Pantry project for me. And plus I get to try something new. My husband loves pickled asparagus. So we are going to be using the recipe out of this cookbook on page 46, the classic pickled asparagus. And what it's going to call for is 4 pounds of asparagus, a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of pickling or canning salt, 3.5 cups of white vinegar, 2.5 cups of water, and 4 cloves of garlics halved, and mustard seeds. My husband has requested that I leave the mustard seeds out, so he doesn't really care for it. Right now I've already got my asparagus washed. It says to cut the tip ends into lengths of 3/4 inches shorter than the height of the jar. So I'm just trying to get them in the jar here where they're under the 1-inch lid. I'm only gonna do 4 of these. I'm doing the wide mouths, so I'm only gonna cut enough asparagus to fit in 4 jars. Once I have that done, it says to reserve the bottom ends for another use, which I'm throwing back over in the bowl because I'm going to do cut asparagus in the pressure canner this weekend instead of whole spears. I just think it'll be quicker for me to get that done in processing. I'm gonna blanch these. I don't normally blanch my asparagus. I like to raw pack, but it says to blanch them for 30 seconds until a bright green, and immediately plunge into a large bowl or sink of ice water and let stand until well chilled for at least 30 minutes or for up to an hour. So, okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to finish getting these cut to size, and I'm going to get ready to blanch these and start getting my jars sanitized and get this project underway. So we'll be back when we're ready to start blanching. I forgot to mention, I have my helper here whenever I can asparagus. Charlie likes to lay around and get snacks of asparagus. She loves it. So she's always close by whenever I can asparagus. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start making my brine. It calls for a 1/4 cup of sugar. I think my husband would like it just a little bit sweeter, so I'm going to go with a 1/3 cup. Yeah, my pot was still wet. It called for, what did it call for? Short-term memory on the weekends. 2 tablespoons of canning or pickling salt. So it's a lot of salt. Yep, 2 tablespoons. Okay, 2 tablespoons in there. Alright, let's see. We're going to need 3.5 cups of white vinegar. Okay, here's 2 cups. And that's it for that one. Get this other one opened. Sorry, I should have had the stuff prepared, but I've tried to get the pressure canner going first. And I just spilled vinegar on me. Yuck. Okay. Another 1.5 cups. Okay. There's that. Yeah, 3.5 and 2.5 cups of water. Hang on. Okay, there's 2. And a half. Okay. So we're going to turn the heat up on this and bring it to a boil. Let's see, boil over medium-high heat, stirring often until sugar and salt are dissolved. Boil for 1 minute and then add the asparagus and simmer until heated through. Well, since I haven't blanched my asparagus yet, maybe I'm not going to heat this up yet. But now it's mixed, so we're ready to go when it is time to heat it up. I'll bring you back when I'm going to add the asparagus to it. Alright, I've moved us out here to the camp stove. I've got my asparagus in blanching. Supposed to leave it in there for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to pull it out and ice bath it. So I'm going to say it's been in there for 30 seconds, but I'm going to leave it just a tad bit longer to get a little brighter green. But it's looking pretty good, so we'll be back when we're going to ice bath. Okay, we're going to dump this out and drain it, and hopefully, well, I forgot I don't really have to. God, I had that one. So let's get that out of the way. Good, I don't have to clean it again. My brain is really not in gear as to what I'm doing this weekend. So there we go. Nice, bright green. I hope it's going to fog up the camera if I do that. But I've got some ice over here. Dumping it in that bowl. Get rid of this. That's kind of warm. So let's see. The water's cold, and I'm going to get some more ice on it. And I'm not sure if y'all can see me over there or not. Cold. Alright, we're going to get some more ice on the top of this and get it cooled down. Alright, I've got my brine up to a boil now, and I've set the timer for 1 minute. Looking at that pot, I decided I was worried that it wouldn't be enough brine, so I did another half recipe in here to make sure it was going to be enough. I'd rather have a little too much than not enough and then have to scramble to get more made. So once the timer's gone off in 1 minute, we'll bring you back when we're going to dump the chilled asparagus into the brine. Okay, timer went off. I'm going to dump in the asparagus. And we're going to heat this until it's, it says heated thoroughly all the way through, which I don't think will take very long. I'm going to cut my heat down just a little bit. At least some of the steam went away. So when we come back, we'll be ready to start packing the jars. Alrighty, now I'm supposed to be putting garlic cloves in here. Well, my garlic cloves were old, and I forgot to pick some up when I went to the store today, and quite frankly, I would rather talk to a telemarketer for about an hour or so before going back to Walmart or Kroger. So I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to use some of the minced garlic. I'm going to put half a teaspoon, about half a teaspoon in each jar, which should be equivalent to a clove in there. And this is going to be kind of fun because it wants me to put this stuff in here tip down. Well, I'm already seeing a problem with this right now. Sorry, I gotta check mine. Yeah, we're just about up to 11 pounds over here. I'm dropping asparagus everywhere. I do not like dealing with, it's warm. Let me get this turned sideways. Gosh. I don't like dealing with blanched cooked asparagus. That's really hot. As I said, I was starting to say, I'm sorry, I'm so scatterbrained, y'all. I had kind of long work week, and I'm going to get out there or not. Okay. Long work week, and trying to do this in can 2, video in can 2, and keep my train of thought and concentrate on what I'm doing. I'm not doing a very good job of it, and I apologize. Okay, the book says to do it tips down. I don't want to do it tips down. I can kind of see why, but I don't want to. I think it will look nicer in the jar this way. Trying to get asparagus packed in a jar once it's been blanched is like trying to get cooked spaghetti to stand up straight in there. It just doesn't work real well. It's going everywhere, and this stuff is really, really hot. So I'm just going to do the best I can with this, and I hope I wasn't taking y'all out of frame. Ouch, that's hot. Try to keep it in here until we get the jar relatively full. Woo, hot. So it's easier if you turn the jar on its side. There's got to be an easier way to do this. I really prefer raw packing asparagus, and I guess I will be looking for another recipe for pickled asparagus where I can raw pack it. And this is going to turn out kind of mushy to me again. I mean, this is having to blanch it and then putting it in the brine and boiling it. I don't know. Not seeing how it's going to stay crisp, personally. I ended up getting all of that in 3 jars instead of 4, so I'm going to start adding my brine. I'm going to leave a 1/2 inch headspace. We're going to debubble, so we'll probably have to add more brine. So I might not have needed to make the extra brine, but like I said, better safe than sorry. Ah, good, that went all over the towel. Probably getting a little full here. Debubble, get this to go down. Very important to remember to debubble. Makes more room for a little more liquid, usually. Seeing that it's probably going to be, let's see, 1/2 inch. Yeah, I've got room for some more liquid now. Not going to worry about the see if that's got us at a 1/2 inch. A little bit more, especially in that one. Get down in there. Yeah, that one needs a little more. Good enough. I'm going to call it on that. A bit more. So hopefully all those will go on down under the brine. They should, especially once we start processing. So alright, let me get my, I've got some vinegar on my paper towel, wiping my rims. I'm still with the old school of, I heat my lids with, hot water, not boiling water. And rings. Okay. Finger tight. Don't want to force them. And these are going to go out to the canner now. So, we get them hauled out there and I'll bring you back with a shot of that. Okay, there we are, 3 jars in the canner. If I get it too close, it'll steam up. I'm going to wait for the water to come back up to a boil. I'm going to put my lid on so that it will. Turn the heat back up on it. And start our timer for 10 minutes. Alright, can't get you too close, but my water's up to a full rolling boil again, and that's where you want it when you're water bath canning. That tells you it's hot enough. So I've started my timer for 10 minutes now. Put the lid on and let it go. Alright, I apologize I didn't bring you back from when I was pulling them out of the water bath canner. I got busy and lost track of time. But here's my finished product. Actually see the scooch in a little bit. See the garlic floating around in there. They're already starting to settle down. I've had them on the cooling mat. Let me back out. So I only got the 3 jars, not 4 as the recipe called for. So I guess I should have prepared a little bit more. I had measured out 4 jars, not thinking straight. I didn't take into account the shrinkage once you blanch them. and then had to drop them in the hot brine as well, so that kind of sucked all the air out of the veggies. We'll see how they taste. If husband likes them. Pickled asparagus is not one of my favorite things, so it'll strictly be up to him if this will be a keeper recipe or if I'll be trying a new one. So thank you for coming along with me. I'm so sorry for being so scatterbrained and kind of stumbling over my words today. Not really on top of my game about things. So just bear with me. Not sure when I'll get this edited and uploaded either, but I appreciate all of you who have subscribed to my channels and have been with me, all those who have been with me for a while. I thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Send me a message, send me an email. I will answer you as soon as I possibly can. Y'all take care and happy canning.